Life is good, but it can get better. Unless you wish for it. Now tell me, what do you wish for? Trying to avoid copyright claims, so there. Yeah, about that. Great line, despite his hammy performance. Hey everybody, here to review Wonder Woman 1984. I actually have a copy of the movie, and also I got the other one for Blu-ray. And yeah, and despite this, is this better than this one? Well, let's talk about it. First things first, let's begin with the story. It takes place in 1984. Wonder Woman, we get to see what she's been up to these last few years. We get to see a backstory of what she has been up to. And we get to see like a small little backstory of like how she's competing in this Olympic game and stuff like that. She loses and she was nearly close to winning. Even though we get to see her aunt, her mom, and her expressing herself like how much that she wanted to be part of the team. But what sucks is that she never got the chance to win it. So we go to years later, and it's 1984, and she's saving people, stop some robbers, which I think the action scene was really cool. And then from there, she has a moment where she misses Steve Trevor. And then with that, she really wishes she could have him back. And then this is the part where the story immediately starts to kind of fall apart. Not saying that the story kind of sucks. It's just that Wonder Woman kind of feels lonely and doesn't have Steve Trevor. And I get that. It sucks. And then here we get to meet Kristen Wiig, who is Barbara Minerva. And I think hate to say this too, I really want Charlize Theron to be in the movie, but she couldn't because of scheduling conflicts and Fast and Furious, of course. We got Kristen Wiig. She does a pretty good performances, but I don't find her too intimidating. I don't really find her too intimidating. I don't know, like, it's hard to say and it's hard to pick, so I'll give it that. But when she was in the cheetah costume, she didn't look that bad, so yeah. And then her motivation too of like she becomes a complete dweeb, like for me, for example, and then later on she wishes that she was as popular, as strong as Wonder Woman, and she gets that. And then Wonder Woman wishes, too, that she would have Steve Trevor back and see him once again. And this is when the movie completely falls apart, and especially the guy who pretty much wished the coffee. Who knows how his fate went through. And anyways, yeah, and the story kind of is meh. And also, Gal Gadot's performance here was great, but like I said, it's kind of like, you know, expressing like how she feels without Steve Trevor. And then speak about Steve Trevor, Chris Pine coming back as Steve Trevor, to me, in my opinion, is really good. I really liked him. Despite, like, you know, not being 100% himself, he's actually in a body, which, I'll be honest with you, Wonder Woman and the guy slept, but it's not actually Steve Trevor. It's actually a guy mimicking Steve Trevor. And I'm like, I think Wonder Woman just convicted rape. But anyways, not to get into personal issues, but it was just awkward. And yeah, you know, Steve Trevor getting to know like the 1980s, and I like how the way they animated the 1980s. I just wish they expressed a little bit more moments of that too, but we never got that. But we get to see some soundtracks, but it doesn't get fully explored. And then we get to Maxwell Lord. Life is good, but it can get better. Pedro Pascal as him, I thought he was really good, really great. At moments, he's very serious. At times, very hammy. When he especially gets to this, I'll give you, and then your wish is granted. And then he goes like, but I'll take this and I'll take that and your guards. Ha ha ha, bye. And I was like, what? And then when he goes like, oh, I need more wishes, and then he, like, the powers of him literally just makes him fall apart. I don't know much about the lore of Maxwell Lord, but all I know is that he does something. He can pretty much like possess people's mind, and then they take away their power and stuff like that. I don't know much about the lore, but that's how his power is. It kind of is a little explored, even though in the comics he kind of has like a nosebleed, and that's what happens in the movie too. His nose bleeds, his eyes bleed, his ears bleed. And you get to see more about his power and how the way he gives these weird wishes to people, a farm, a Porsche, and I'm like, geez, people, you're making so many stupid wishes. And at the same time, yeah, and then another negative about the movie too, this movie, it started off really strong, but like after the first act just began, like there was no action. It was pure character development, moment of truth, character development, and then the action immediately starts nearly at the middle of the movie. And I'm like, damn, that took a while. And I'm not saying that I want more action in this movie. Like, I don't want it to be every scene, every time, all the time action. But it just lacked that. And that's what the movie kind of stumbled a bit too. And then, I don't know, at times, like, you know, the story does fall apart. Kristen Wiig at times, like, you know, like I said, I don't find her more intimidating in this movie. And I don't want to be mean about that too. I really wish Charlie Stern would have had time to do this, but we got what we got. Even though Kristen Wiig and Gal Gadot are actually best friends, which is cool, but performance-wise, not so much. Not really a fan. Maxwell Lord was really great, even though he calls himself Max Lord here. His son does not even look exactly like him, which is kind of weird, and it's a bit off. Even though I do love his line and how the way he completely goes insane when he's like giving the wishes and he's like falling apart. I'm like, oh my god, like this guy's literally losing it. And was there a great moment in the movie? I would say the part where she goes to the White House and she starts kicking ass. That was like the only best part about the movie, and everything else about the movie kind of fell apart. Oh, and the part where she learns how to fly, which I was like wondering, like I bet she learned how to fly, especially during the Justice League, because she was kind of flying a little bit. And I thought that moment was really cool. And then also, come on, you cannot forget Linda Carter as making a cameo too, and what represents too how the way she even says it, like I've done this for a long time. And I was like, damn straight. And I was was like, yeah, because she was MIA in the first movie, and I really wish she would have showed up more. And also, the final climax too between Wonder Woman and Cheetah was much better than the freaking Ares fight, which Ares was literally just kicking Wonder Woman off the curb all the damn time. There was a moment where they got into a hand clash and stuff like that. Here they actually get up close and personal, despite not having too much pushing back or anything like that. But in the end, I thought the movie, to me, it's great, but it's not as good as the first one. I prefer the first one over this one. This one, it's a near masterpiece despite the freaking Ares fights. But this one, my final verdict is that, is this better than this one? No. To be honest, I prefer this one more. This one does fall apart with the story, how the way Wonder Woman's going like that it too, and I'm half and half between Cheetah's performances, and same thing with Maxwell Lord, despite some good parts about the movie about him. And then the pacing about the movie too, and then not much action. It kind of falls apart. To me, I'm stuck between these numbers, but the more I watched it, I kind of liked it. I went from a 6, but now this movie, I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10. It's not as good as this one, so I'll give it that. Wonder Woman 3 is in development, but I heard rumors that it's going to take place in the modern days, especially during the time when Wonder Woman is trying to get back to Themyscira. And I don't know, it's weird because we don't even know where it's going to take place. I don't know if it's after Justice League or before Justice League. I don't know, but it said it's rumored to be taking place in the modern days, so I don't mind that too. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be doing another video, Suicide Squad on its 5th year anniversary, and to see how it holds up to this day. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.